Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. A few weeks ago, my barber, Ev, sent me a DM. It was a video from three lads in Ilkeston in my constituency, and it was going viral. These boys, Owen, Harrison and Roy, were talking about how life was for them as teenage boys in 2025. They talked about not having anything to do, about the youth clubs having shut down, about getting in trouble with the police because they didn't have anything to do. These boys talked about troubles at home, they lost a mum, they talked about tough childhoods and about how they support each other through their lives. They talked about how they just wanted to see each other succeed. The last line of the video from one of them was, "These will be my boys forever." These boys, Madam Deputy Speaker, Owen, Harrison and Roy, reminded me of my own time growing up and my own boys. Throughout my time in school, and indeed well into my mid-20s, I took no interest in politics because I felt it wasn't something that I really had a stake in. What I did care about, though, was the group of friends I grew up with. I first properly met my boys at a party when I was 16 at Joe's house in North Cardiff, sat awkwardly in a corner, too uncool to talk to anyone beyond the one or two people I came along with, generally afraid of the significantly more socially adept groups of teenagers around me. As I got to know them, though, as I became one of them, I felt I finally found a tribe. Young men with shared interests in heavy music, in Skate 3, and in making fun of each other as often and as brutally as possible. As we grew, we did all the things that young men do. We one-upped each other, we drank, we argued, we were immortal. And then, one day, everything changed. On Wednesday, the 10th of October, 2018, Andrew sent a message to our group chat. It started, "Boys, I think it's time you should know. Tom was involved in a very bad accident at work yesterday. He got trapped under a camper van. He's not doing so well. He's in intensive care currently after having had surgery last night. Thomas Shaxson, worked with his dad in their auto body business, and he had a terrible accident indeed. Later that week, Tom died of his injuries." In many ways, Tom's death caused us all to reassess everything. We found ourselves facing our own mortality and the unexpected, irreplaceable loss of someone who we called a brother for most of our lives up until that point. The way we interacted with each other changed, our interpersonal relationships deepened, and we suddenly had to be there for each other in ways we hadn't even considered before. We started talking about our own happiness, and I felt that we collectively opened up about our own struggles, things that our prior macho bravado had stopped us from sharing previously. To this day, I have a note pinned to my kitchen wall from Dan that he sent me in the post after Tom's accident, which says, "Here if you need anything, brother." None of the boys had ever sent me any post before, but every time I see it, it reminds me that Dan and all my boys are indeed here for me any time I need them. In the years since Tom's death, our once bravado-fueled group has evolved. We learned to talk about our issues, share and develop a new masculinity based in mutual support and love for each other. I tell my friends I love them every time I see them, and we've gotten to become well-rounded adults with partners, wives, children and families that we know Tom would be very proud of. A special shout-out to Joe today, Madam Deputy Speaker, who this past weekend, after 15 years of graft, became a consultant hand surgeon. We're incredibly proud of him. Yeah. And all of this, Madam Deputy Speaker, is why I think it's so important for those of us that have been on a journey like this to share our stories with boys like Owen and Harrison and Roy, who are growing up today. With the rise of increasingly toxic online culture, with so much social media encouraging boys to take increasingly hateful stances, spreading vile misogyny and the lie that women and girls are somehow beneath them, it's incumbent on all of us to share the positives that can be gained by opening up, by being there for each other as boys, as men, and letting each other know that we're here for one another whenever we need it.
Yeah. Graham Down.